And welcome back to the Stan Simpson Show. Evangelist Crystal Spencer's book is called The Root of Fear and the Anchor of Faith, Leaving Your Past Behind and Securing Your Future. Welcome to the show, your first book. Now, when I hear that title, Leaving Your Past Behind, Securing Your Future, it tells me the author has had some challenges in the past. So what led you to put this your past on paper? Let me tell you real quick, going through the chapters, I saw many years ago that you were out of high school, pregnant, someone introduced you to pot, and you loved pot, and you became someone who was pregnant and smoking pot, and that was one of your lower moments. Talk about that.
Okay. Well, I'll start with why I wanted to write the book, because I looked at my own life and I saw people going through so many challenges in life. Young girls who are afraid to be themselves, young girls who are afraid to come out and tell people, hey, somebody touched me when I was young, somebody gave me something to smoke when I was young, and they're hiding from it. And what happens is you get trapped in your own emotions. So I decided, why not put my things on paper? You know, my goal was that someone would find deliverance in that book, you know, and say to themselves, I'm not alone. You know, I can do this. So, again, coming out of high school, I met a guy. I ended up pregnant. And what he did was get high all day, you know. So he taught me how to get high. And I loved it. I did. I got high from sun up to sundown. And then it became where I didn't do it for the enjoyment anymore. I did it because it relaxed me. And after going through so many emotional changes in my life, I figured, okay, well, we'll get out of that. We'll come out of that. We'll have a way out. We'll get high. And that's what we did.
You were able to escape to that.
Exactly. It took me so much out of myself. But what happened was it became so abnormal for me. You know, it brought on paranoia, fears, you know, things that I hadn't faced when I was a child. It brought up all those emotions. So a lot of times I stayed home. I cried. You know, I wouldn't tell my mom what I was going through. I never told her that I had been abused when I was younger. I never told her, you know, this is what I do when I'm away from you. You know, I pretended to be part of the crowd when I was there.
So you had all this bottled up. You're abused.
Exactly.
You're pregnant, getting high every day. So you're in this cycle where it's not a very good cycle. So what makes you decide, okay, enough? When did that come to Jesus moment, if you will, for you to come?
My mom had an old Bible on her bedpost. She had a wooden bed, and on that, I used to go up there and read her Bible, you know, when she wasn't home, constantly. Just take little pages. I didn't really understand what I was reading, but it began to do something inside of me. And when I got to the place where, it talks about it in the book, where I became so neurotic, you know, so nervous, so out of sorts, so out of place, I could not function day to day.
You're a basket case, right?
Pretty much. Pretty much. I had caged myself into this thing where I'm not going to fellowship with people. But what happens is that box that you create, it becomes your cage, and you can't get out. So I decided, you know, I don't want this life anymore. The people I hung around were some of the best drug dealers in the city of Hartford. And the lane was just a little bit too fast for me. And I said, you know, Lord, I don't want this anymore. I want the real Crystal back. I want to find out who I am.
Who was the real Crystal?
Well, the real Crystal was a girl who grew up in high school loving sports. You know, loving life, loving helping people, a passion, you know, to help people. That was who I was, and I lost that because I became afraid to talk to people.
So for folks watching out there who can connect with that, you said the first step was going through the Bible, but walk us through 2 or 3 more steps. What other steps do you take when you find yourself lost? Basically, you're lost, getting high, wayward, not sure where to go in life, and but not knowing that's not you, but not knowing how to get out of it. So after the Bible, because some may say, well, that's very simplistic, read the Bible, that didn't cure my... What else happened to you?
Well, the first step I did after reading the Bible was I went to the doctor, and he gave me some tranquilizers, and he said, oh, you're too stressed out. This is what you need. And I became so addicted to those. More drugs, you know? And I became so addicted to those, to literally I could not function during the day. And it just hurt me so bad till I decided I didn't want it anymore. I took the tranquilizers, I flushed them down the toilet, and decided, Lord, I'm going to live for you. If you promise me in this word that I can have a better life through you, then that's the life that I want. And I just took steps. I read. Every time I felt myself being stressed out, I would pick up inspirational books and read them and just continue to study.
But something had to happen. There had to be one moment, something that happened where you said, this is it. Because you're telling me now you read the Bible. I understand that. But it had to be, I'm going to assume, some horrific incident where you said, okay, that's it. What was that incident?
I got too high. I got too high. We were out, me and the girls that I hung with, we were out getting high, and I remember us taking all the weed that we had, and I sold weed, actually, and we put it all on the table, and this is kind of embarrassing, but we put it all on the table, and we mixed it up, and I tell you, Stan, I got so high till I could not stand up. I began having heart palpitations. I could not walk, and I remember my girlfriend saying, let me take you outside. We got to get this off of you. And I remember leaning on her. It totally, I did not like being that much outside of myself.
Do you think you're going to die?
Yeah, I did. My heart was beating so fast, and things started coming into my head about people that I knew that were on drugs, dying. You know, a good friend of mine died right in his house that was right up under mine, you know, and different things.
You feel you're going to die. That really also, that was a...
It will make you look at, you know what, life is too short. You know, and if I leave here today, I have a son that I have to take care of. By this time, I'd had another daughter, you know, and I said, I cannot go out like this. I can't do it.
In about 30 seconds, you minister now to a lot of people out there, I'm assuming women and men. What are some common things you hear when people talk to you? What kind of stories they share without revealing any names? In 30 seconds, what's a common thread you're hearing from people out there?
A common thread is that they're lost in the world and they don't know how to turn around. You know, they're out there getting high. They're out there, you know, drinking, and they don't know how to come back. They're afraid. They're really afraid to face themselves, face the public, face their jobs, whoever. And they will not, they're just afraid to turn around. And I'm here to say, you know what? You're not alone. You know, you can do this thing, but you have to have something that's higher than yourself, that you want to believe in, that will touch you deep inside, because it has to come from deep inside, you know, and that will grab you and say, this is what I have to pull on, you know, and that's what I did with God's Word.
10 seconds.
You know?
That feeling of being alone has got to be the real killer, right? When people feel that only they share that. When they know, when you can share your story, I imagine it's very powerful for them to hear, wow, you went through all that. That can be very therapeutic for most people.
That's right. That's right. It can be. It's a tough thing to be out there and feel like there's nobody that can hear you, because you really think nobody has gone through what I've gone through, but you're wrong, and a lot of people have, and they're just afraid to face it, you know.
All right. Again, so again, the book is The Root of Fear and the Anchor of Faith, Leaving Your Past Behind, Securing Your Future. Evangelist Crystal Spencer, and they can get the book where? Online somewhere?
Get it online, Amazon.com, my publisher, authorhouse.com. I also have a webpage that I just built through Vistaprint. You can reach me at evangelistcrystal.com, and please sign my wall and let me know that you're there. Let me know your thoughts.
You got a one-woman marketing campaign with this thing.
I'm trying.
Well, it's a good topic. Thank you for sharing your story. It's important. We appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks to all our guests. Economist Fred McKinney, Evangelist Crystal Spencer. Don't forget, catch our show 24/7 at ctnow.com/Stan. Friend us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. For the good folks here at Fox Connecticut, I'm Stan Simpson. The morning news is next.